all of our YMCA staff and volunteers, please stand. Thank you very much. We can't do this alone. We cannot do this. So this brings us to the part of the evening where we get to recognize folks. We've got our GEM award that we took care of earlier with Jayla Holloway and Mary Alice Alligood. But we've also got 4 other award categories. The next and what the YMCA represents in our community and the deliverance of programs to all ages. And the very first, there were 2 nominees, and the runner-up for this year's GEM Award for exhibiting the YMCA values as a youth in the YMCA is Jayla Holloway. And I don't think Jayla's here tonight, right? Yes? Yeah? All right, so we will make sure that Jayla gets this runner-up certificate. And I'll tell you, Jayla was nominated because she's well-mannered, respects adults and her peers, listens, follows directions. Just really a good kid to be around in our program, in our after-school program. But this year's winner for the GEM Award is a young lady who's always sweet and well-behaved. She's a loyal participant. She's one of our first youth in our homeschool PE program. Always helping the smaller kids in the group and with games and activities. And she keeps brothers and sisters occupied and orderly during class time. That's no easy task, I'm sure. So it's my distinct privilege on behalf of our YMCA to recognize Mary Alice Alligood. Yeah, there you go. Program, it doesn't happen without the parents being committed and being a part of that. And Mary Alice is joined tonight by her mom and dad, John and Katie. So thank you, John. And look, have fun at the dance. All right. Next award category we have is the Star Volunteer. And the Star Volunteer Award goes to the adult volunteer or instructor who epitomizes volunteerism. Think about volunteerism. That's kind of what makes the Y progress down that road. Is our volunteers, not just our board volunteers, but others that come in to help out when we have a function, or whether behind the scenes, sweeping the floor, emptying the trash, setting up stations for the chili run, all the things that we do to provide these programs for our members and many non-members, but providing programs for our community. So our Star Volunteer runner-up this year is Christy Sloan. Christy, and I don't think Christy's here tonight. Okay. But Christy was nominated out of 2 nominees. She's loyal to the Y, willing to jump in when needed, always positive about the Y. She is a spin participant, but was also happy to get certified and lead the spin class when we needed an instructor. So it just kind of epitomized that, both in the morning and evening. Our winner, however, for this Star Volunteer epitomizes volunteerism. This is a gentleman who jumped right in to help raise funds. Not just raise funds, but do physical work. I don't know how many miles he has on our lawnmowers. But he's got many miles on sports bar on our lawnmowers. He encourages others to join in and not only join in volunteering, but to participate in our programs and become members of the Y. He is just one person who not only epitomizes volunteerism, but he's a person that came back. And I have a particular affinity for this gentleman because he's a U.S. Marine as well. And I had to say that just in case he wasn't sure who I was talking about. Right? But I would like to invite James Taylor up here to join us. Also thank Jim's bride, Carmel, just for sharing him with us. All right. This next award category is the treasure category. And this is a treasure, somebody who has truly put their time in life, and somebody who invests that time, their energies, their enthusiasm, their positivism, their love. And what the beautiful part about that is they're older adults, our senior adults. That's who our treasures are. And we've got 3 nominees, so 2 runners-up and an award winner. Our first runner-up was Trudy Mackey. She donated significant time and energy toward our angel tree, and always a bright, positive spot in yoga class. Just a sweet spirit is the information. And if you meet her, it shines. It shines. Our second runner-up in our treasure category, and she is here tonight. She encourages new members in yoga. Always friendly, but not just friendly. She's got a great sense of humor. She's welcoming to new members, positive, and let me tell you, she puts her time and energy into yoga. She's dedicated to that. Nina Gudro. Our award winner for this our treasure category is, and I like doing this, I like to read the description of our folks without reading their name. This next person here, she takes every class imaginable at the YMCA. Regardless of the difficulty, she's enthusiastic, she motivates other students and staff. She's reliable, she's essentially a cornerstone of our YMCA fitness department. She's a longtime member. She participates in all things that we offer, from water programs to land classes. She encourages others to join the Y, as well as participate in classes. She shows her sweet spirit every single day. And for those of you that have been driving to this YMCA for years, especially when the weather's nice, I can't say I've ever seen her do this when it's raining and everything. And if she did, she might get in trouble with her husband. But I've seen her walking here on occasion. Walking down the other side of Gilliamville Road, walking to the traffic light, crossing the street, all by herself. And then she walks to the Y. Now that doesn't sound like a real tremendous feat to most of you, does it? It's a heck of a tremendous feat if you can't see. Really? Miss Blanche Griffith.
All right.
Blanche, your husband, Andre, you're going to join us up here. So I asked Blanche's husband, Andre, to join us because, you know, especially when we have our spouses, you know, we don't do it alone. We can't. And so, Andre, thank you for sharing your wife and your beautiful spirit with us. Nina, thank you for your contributions to being just that bright light in our treasure. All right, our next category of awards is our Spirit Award. Our Spirit Award, it's to one of our staff members who demonstrates consistent, enthusiastic expression of our YMCA values in everything that they do. And we have 3 nominees in this category. Our first runner-up is Janasia Jones. I just like our child care contingent to please just stand up and say, our after school.
Come on, stand up.
So she has a very positive attitude and everything. She's caring, respectful. She decorates and brightens every room she attends with creativity, which makes a big difference when you're working with our after-school kids. Absolutely big difference. Our second runner-up in our spirit category is somebody that everybody sees, especially if you're here later in the day. She's a go-to resource for all things YMCA. She's welcoming to all members, keeps up with all needs, and reports all issues to whichever director is in charge. She goes above and beyond. You never see her without a smile. She's got a calm nature that tends to just radiate from her and consequently calm others when they're talking with her or interacting with her. She's always willing to help everyone, from children to seniors, in the course of her workday. I'd like to ask Miss Shirley Hill to come on up. So the winner of the spirit category, many of you don't know this person, I'm sure. He's only been here for decades. Not as many decades as Jimmy Shimwell was. But he's always friendly, always has a smile and a welcome to members and staff. In fact, if you want to have a conversation with this gentleman, all you got to do is say hello. And you'll be talking for quite some time. One of the comments that was submitted, he's an all-around good guy. And that kind of captures the essence of Bernie Yarber.
Yay!
All right, so for the next category, first off, I'm going to preface this by, has anybody heard or heard about how prices are going up?
Oh, yeah.
Problems with transportation, supply, logistics. Yeah. So I started, and I like this next award. This is the Inspire Award. And it's got its genesis just in my time serving our great country as a U.S. Marine, where a commanding officer would get to recognize the men and women that he or she serves with, and they get to do so with a coin. It's called the Commander's Coin or a Challenge Coin. And so we started this tradition here back when I was privileged to start serving with the YMCA here. And I haven't been able to get those coins this year. So I'm not going to be able to give that coin tonight. All right, but as soon as I can get that, I will award that. Because it's kind of, it's very, and I'm going to symbolize extending the offer of that coin when I do award this next award, because I think it's important, because when that commander has that coin in their hand and they go to shake the hand of the person that they're recognizing, that commander is telling that individual, or in this case that CEO, is telling that person that he serves with, thank you. It's a privilege to know you, it's a privilege to serve with you, and you're a bright spot in my day. You inspire me. So that's just kind of that's the movie trailer part of this award, right? We have 4 nominees for this category. The first runner-up for this category was Tammy Clay. Tammy from Child Care. And for those of you that know Tammy, patient, compassionate, very dependable, empathetic for the kids. I mean, she knows our kids when they come off that bus. She knows their personalities. She knows if they've been having a bad day. And even if they've been having a bad day, by the time that child leaves that bus and comes into that door, that child has already got a sense of calm about them. That's Tammy Clay. And Tammy is not here with us this evening. Our next runner-up is here. Hey, I gotta tell you, she's a 2022 graduate of Albany State University. 2022 grad. At just the age of 21, she's adaptable. She shows passion working with our youth. She's creative with any of the resources that she's given or that she provides. And she shows great patience with the kids. I mean, we get kids from all kinds of backgrounds in our after-school program. And they're coming from all different schools, all different teachers, and when those kids come in, and when those counselors of ours that have the opportunity to literally transform those emotionally charged kids when they come into this Y and give them a sense of continuity and calm, it's amazing. And particularly as a new graduate, I mean, she's got her life ahead of her. And it's amazing to recognize Jemiah. And I get to see Jemiah every day because she's in the classroom, like right across from us.
And we wave.
And she plays music that is so, it's like being in a spa. It's so calm. Come on, or no, actually, we're going to get a picture when the next one. All right, so this next award is kind of a head fake. You know the head fake, right? Yep. In football, you got the ball, and you go the other direction, right? Well, that's what this next award is. Because she's not expecting it at all. The winner of our Inspire Award, she's my go-to resource for all things YMCA. Welcoming to all members. Keeps up with all needs and reports all issues to whatever director is in charge. Does this sound familiar? I just read this a few minutes ago. That is not a typo, it's not a mistake. I'm just going to come right out and say, I would like Miss Shirley Hill to come up here. I know it. And you know, y'all, I did overlook Odell Reddick. Odell Reddick is one of our runners-up. He is also here. I tell you, child care showed up tonight.
Yes,
Odell, he's worked front desk, and he was nominated for his dedication. And he drives the buses for our kids, and so thank you. So that's a good combination.
Here we go.
Tonight, we're also going to be saying farewell to our chief volunteer officer, Mike Davenport. And the challenge, though, is he's a hard guy to nail down. I'm just going to tell a little background. All right? The same challenge we ran into with the challenge coin, is the same challenge I ran into with the memento for Mike in his transition and farewell. And he's not really going anywhere. Mike's background is he came here to Albany and he's assistant district attorney. But Mike, he's got a passion for our community, particularly our youth. It's not just our youth that are affected, but all people are affected by gangs in our community. Our YMCA has been affected over time. But you know, that's the community we live in, and that's the community every one of us calls home. And Mike has dedicated his life to bringing people to justice, but also trying to identify the root causes and try to address this. Why do we have this in our community? What that's all about, right? But he serves, and he's got that servant heart, which is amazing to serve with him on our board of directors. And so Mike is now working for the Attorney General of Georgia on his gang task force. That's how passionate Mike is about that role. So, Mike, I know you're on your way out, and you'll have a few comments in a moment, but just for me to you, it's a pleasure to serve with you. He's been on our board since 2017? 2016. And he's participated, and Mike told me just before starting this dinner meeting that his intent is to be like Bill Ashbury. Mike wants to serve like Bill Ashbury. Mike wants to serve. Bill Ashbury has been the president of our board several times. Bill is faithful to coming to our board meetings. Bill is faithful to contributing to the discussion to make this YMCA a better place to serve this community. Bill recognizes, he's been here long enough, he's been around, where he sees the value of this YMCA and the partnerships. So I'm going to transition right now. That's my way of telling Bill thank you for your participation for the board, Bill. And I know you don't do it alone. But Mike's going to take a couple months off. He's like, I'm going to take a break from the board, but he's coming right back, and he wants to be just like Bill. Good luck with that. Bill set a high bar for us. Let me talk about our YMCA for a moment. Our YMCA truly does make a difference in this community. Truly makes a difference in this community. How does it make a difference? Well, we've talked a little bit about it by our staff and volunteers who we've just recognized. That heart, that passion, that compassion that is demonstrated, that sense of service that's demonstrated. But I'll tell you, the one word that kind of captures our YMCA, I think, especially over this last year to 2 years, is partnership. Partnership with this community. You know, over 2 years ago, we started this thing. I actually convened a group of people from several organizations in the community, right in our conference room here, to start distributing food to people who couldn't go to the grocery store. The grocery stores were closed and they couldn't get food. And we started distributing food here 1 day a week. For those of you that remember that, you remember the traffic lines clobbering Gillianville Road out there. Well, then we had to recognize that partnerships is what's going to help move us forward. And I'm very pleased to know that a gentleman that recently came back to this community and who he and I kind of have a shared vision of partnership and being able to reach out and serve, particularly the youth in our community. We work very closely with our Recreation and Parks Department. Stephen Bell came back here, and he's just been all about this neighborhood and image and community initiative. And so we've been having basketball games and stuff right now during this actual basketball season we have. And so Ms. Dave and Bell, they are here representing our Recreation and Parks Department. Just stand up. So Stephen Bell couldn't be here tonight, so this is his, so you got Stephen, you guys look a whole lot nicer. No, thank you very much. But there's other organizations. Through the United Way of Southwest Georgia, our YMCA partnered with some amazing organizations. Easter Seals for our special needs after school. Quasim Thomas in the back, who is our director for our Easter Seals. And I already mentioned, so Contessa Campbell, who is our director. I call them out because you all read the news about the impact of these last couple of years on kids. The whole social, emotional impact. Imagine, all of us here, imagine us being a kid today. Going to school, not going to school. Virtual school. Come on. It is a challenge. And then all of the social issues that are coming to light. Not that they're coming to light, but there's responses and there's initiatives to carry messages out there in our country that things that need to be addressed. Our kids are hearing this, and they're witnessing it, and they're being a part of it. And so, I say that in the context of Contessa and Quasum working with our kids. They face that every single day with our kids that come here. And EJ with our sports department and our youth sports, gathering coaches to serve these kids that need good role models. Absolutely need that. Our older adults, the other end of the age spectrum. We partner with SEWIGA, Southwest Georgia's Council on Aging. We partner with the ARC, the ARC of Southwest Georgia as well, for their adult day care program. Those partnerships is what makes us thrive in this community, and we can't do it alone. And I appreciate your support in helping us get that word out to this community. It's so vital and so essential. And just look at the small, intimate gathering that we had here. We finished this last year with a balanced budget, for the most part. If you don't count the PPP grants that we got over the last 2 years and all that, we had to. But you know what? We've survived. And we've got a board of volunteers right now that is active in a strategic plan that is charting a very exciting, positive course for childcare, our membership, our facilities, our infrastructure, our sports park, our Lee County branch. And I'm not going to get into all the numbers and everything. My intent is not to talk long, but I've got 2 more points to make. One is, our board of volunteers is dedicated to making sure we have a strategic plan that is manageable and executable into the future. And they have rolled up their sleeves and they are working to do just that in our community. The final point is, I can't do this by myself. I've got a bride that just keeps me moving, keeps me going in the right direction all the time. And my bride ain't here. But so, all that to say, there's a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, and just from my heart, and being humbled to serve you, really, and consequently our community. It's a very humbling position to be in, but there's some joy and there's a lot of personal satisfaction that comes from being a part of this organization. And again, I just want to thank you. And with that, I'd like to ask Mike Davrock to come on up, have some closing comments.
So, and I was trying to sit there and think, it was either 2015, 2016, I came to Dan and said, you know what, I'm interested in flying. I've been a member here at that point for about 1.5 years, 2 years. I want to serve on the board. And Dan asked me, why? What does it mean? Why do you want to serve on the board? Because some people, they want to serve on the board of a charity because it looks good on the resume. You didn't say that, but that's it, got on the street. I need it for my resume. I need it for my future. And I told Dan the honest truth. It's about the kids. Because with what I do for a career, and I've done it now for 23 years, by far and away, the biggest problem with crime, with gangs, is a matter of heart. It's about the community not caring about these kids. They come from oftentimes broken homes, struggling to meet ends, and they may not have their mom at home, they may not have their dad at home. They may be living with uncles, aunts, grannies, and then they go to school. They have financial issues, so they don't necessarily have clean clothes. And when they go to school, they act out. So they maybe get in trouble, they get pushed aside by the school. We need to teach the good students, the ones that are causing problems, we need to push aside. Neighborhoods aren't the same as when I grew up. When I grew up as a little kid, if I acted out, my mama knew what I was doing before I made it home. And honestly, half the time I'd get a whooping from the neighbor, and then by the time I got home, my mama would give me a whooping because I got a whooping from the neighbor. It's not like that anymore. So you have kids who are just looking for somebody to care about them. Somebody to make them feel safe and get a place where they belong. That's what I told Dan. That's why I want to join the board at the Y. Because I see that as the Y's mission. And in my career, I can tell you, gangs have changed. Gangs aren't 17, 18, 19-year-olds. Gangs are recruiting 8, 9, 10-year-olds. That's when you join the gangs, when you're 8, 9, or 10. By 13, you're in there. So that's where the battle is for the 8 to 13-year-olds before we lose them. Is there a way that we can show them that we care, that they're important, that they have value, that their life matters? That's why I've been on the board of life. I don't see, if I ask y'all, tell me what you think the Y is. Some people are going to say, well, it's basketball courts. It's where all the kids come, there's basketball games going on. It's the weight room, it's cardio room, it's the classes, the Zumba classes that go on. That's what the Y is. And when we went through the storms that we have, all the challenges that Albany has, it's right not only the tornadoes, the hurricanes, the water damage, the fire that we had in the gym in the corner. We've had so many issues. And the reason why the Y has survived, and not just survived, but we are actually starting to look good for our future, is because it's not a building. It's not the gym, it's not the basketball court, it's not the weight room, it's not the classes, it's a mission. If you're here at the Y and you're here working because it's a job, you know what? You can find a job any place. Turn this into a mission. If you're a board member, turn it into a mission. When Dan walks through the basketball courts and the kids call him Mr. Dan, it's not about the basketball courts, it's about the connection he's made with those kids. It's the mission, it's the showing that you care. That's why I told Dan, and I'm going to call out Bill. Bill Ashbury, I consider to be a legend of the Y. He served as board president, 2 separate terms, 3 separate terms. Honestly, we aren't sure the number because it keeps coming back. And it's not about him caring about the brick walls. It's not about him caring about the gym, about what equipment we have or what we don't have. It's because the why is important. The why has a mission that we have to meet. Missions in childcare. With every child that you interact, you don't realize the ripple effects. Bill didn't know that I consider him. I don't think Bill knew that I consider him somebody that I want to emulate in his service, in his care. It's a ripple effect that by him being willing to serve, it has rippled down to me. Hopefully it will ripple down to our incoming board president, and the one after that, and the one after that. We need people like Bill in this Y. One thing, Sam, a way that you can show that you care about the Y, which I encourage, is the Cornerstone Club. It's a way you can leave a gift to the Y in your will. And I can tell you, every single time I've received a gift, usually or I'm not going to say every time, but 2 out of 3 times, we're trying to figure out how are we going to pay for this repair, how are we going to pay for that repair, then all of a sudden we receive a gift. It's that caring about the mission. They don't leave a gift People don't leave a gift to a brick and mortar place, they leave a gift to the mission. So, I'm not going to continue to talk all night about what the why means to me, but I simply just want to say thank you. Thank you to Dan. Dan and I, there's been times, I'd say probably about 80% of the time we'll agree, 20% of the time we may disagree, but it's because he cares about the why.
75-25.
Thank you to EJ. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the staff. Thank you to our board volunteers. The current board is a great board filled with people who want to be active and be a part of this. So thank you. And most of all, I want to say thank you to my bride. Once a month, I'm here for meetings with board meetings, and they're supposed to go from 5:30 to 6:30. There's been times we've had long ones where I'm coming home at 8. She's taking care of the house, taking care of dinner, I come home, have dinner waiting for me, the kids are ready for bed, and I could not serve and can't continue to serve without her support and her encouragement. So I want to say thank you to my bride. That being said, Davis Gill is our incoming president, and I know he's going to do a phenomenal job. He could not be here tonight because, well, some things are a little bit more important than the mission of the Y, such as taking a honeymoon with his bride.
A honeymoon that's over a year overdue.
Yeah. So Davis wanted me to pass on some comments which he had, and I apologize for not being able to attend the annual dinner with you all. My wife and I are on our delayed honeymoon since we got married in May of 22. I'd like to thank you all for your support of the YMCA. The community is enriched by the YMCA's Christian values. It's a pillar in the community that gives back where there is an opportunity. The food drives during COVID are a prime example. I will not forget working a food drive in cold rain with YMCA staff. The YMCA staff here is incredible and truly cares about the community. I attended one food drive, but the staff at the Y organized many. The Y is a place where everyone can enjoy fitness, fellowship, and give back to the community. I look forward to seeing all of you at the Y this year. Sincerely, Davis. So, with that, thank you very much for everything y'all do. Thank you for coming.
So, ladies and gentlemen, so we just noted Mike's leaving, or rolling off the board. Davis Gill, who's been our treasurer, is now moving into that position. That means we've got a vacant position. Treasurer. It's not really vacant. It's not really vacant. So I just asked Carl Williams to please stand. And so Carl is our new treasurer. I know. He's a new treasurer. He ain't right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Mike, thank you as always for your comments there to wrap up. And I just want to say to everybody, be safe driving out there. The weather's still good for ducks. But good to make an amphibious land. That's what it is, But seriously, just have a great weekend. And I will tell you, I'm going to be in Washington the next 3 days. I'm going to meet with Senator Ossoff, Senator Warnock, Congressman Bishop, and several other U.S. congressmen talking about programs that are important to our YMCA here in Albany, Georgia. And I'll be representing our Georgia Alliance for the state of Georgia while I'm there. So really looking forward to that. It's an honor to do that. And hopefully I can bring back some money to this community. Thank you. I appreciate it.